Alright, so another great YouTuber has made a new video. Louis Rossmann. Louis Rossmann is a great... Oh wait, I haven't subscribed to him in this channel. I'm subscribed to him on the main channel, but let's subscribe to him on this channel as well. So, Louis Rossmann is one of the great YouTubers who are advocating for consumer rights. I remember the first time I saw him, he was like surgically replacing a microcapacitor inside the motherboard while simultaneously talking about your right to repair. So he made this video here about changing your profile picture to CLIPPY. From what I understand, CLIPPY, from what I remember, CLIPPY also was this little animated thing that was for your Microsoft Word at some point. Alright, so let's see what he's talking about.
Josh Hawley a few months back. One of the elements that's Facebook whistleblower hearings with Senator Josh Hawley a few months back. One of the elements that stuck out to me was when they were talking about how if an underage girl has deleted a selfie, Meta keeps track of this because they know that this person likely has low self-esteem at that moment that they deleted a picture of themselves, which means that they may be more apt to purchase something from an advertiser of a cosmetic product. And I think about this within the context of what companies...
Am I hearing, is this legal? Facebook allegedly detected when teen girls deleted selfies so it could serve them beauty ads. This is evil, bro. No, bro, you don't do that. So Facebook is like manipulating its users to its maximum. Like, how is this legal? How is this even allowed?
Meta keeps track of this because they know that this person likely has low self-esteem at that moment that they deleted a picture of themselves, which means...
So they are like manipulating children, right? So let's pass the Child Protection Act to protect them from the internet, but also let's spy on them and manipulate them to a point where we're serving them YouTube ads for makeup when we think they are on their lowest point of their self-esteem. That's insane.
Means that they may be more apt to purchase something from an advertiser of a cosmetic.
I knew that marketers and advertisers were like evil, but I didn't expect they would be this evil.
Product. And I think about this within the context of what companies used to get in trouble for and what they do, or more importantly, don't get in trouble for today. I grew up in the 90s, a time when
you have Zuckerberg and what's his name, the bald guy from Amazon, when you have all these people lobbying at your favorite politicians and donating millions to their their campaigns, expect that they will be given power over you at any point, because money speaks louder than anything else, for politicians at least.
When Microsoft had hell and fury fall down upon them because they bundled a web browser with their operating system. Whether you think this is a good idea or not, I personally think that a web browser being installed in every single person's computer that's standards non-compliant, that is so bad that you can...
Yeah, this is like an opening for exploitation. I mean, what if your operating software is fine, but then your browser has like a vulnerability that can be exploited by anybody? Now you are just like exposing everybody. Anyway, this is like monopolizing tactics. This should not be legal. None of this should be legal.
You can literally get a virus from visiting a website. Has its problems. But when you look at what it is that companies got in trouble for in the 90s, it just doesn't hit the same when you look at what companies get away with now. I remember having a Dell Dimension 233 back in the day, and if you wanted to get the one that had...
I see the Black Mirror DVDs. I see the Black Mirror Blu-rays here at the side. I think he's making a very good statement here. We are living inside the Black Mirror episode, and my selection of cyberpunk themed backgrounds and my webcam, they're not accidental. I believe we are approaching a sort of cyberpunk dystopia, but without all the cool stuff, just the oppression stuff. It's like, I think within the next 200 years, we will reach a future where it will be somewhere between Cyberpunk and Idiocracy, the movie. I don't know if you have seen the movie Idiocracy. You should if you would.
Had slightly better graphics, they would give you a free installation of Microsoft Office. And with Microsoft Office back in the day, it came with CLIPPY. Whether or not you like CLIPPY and whether or not you liked Microsoft Office or having an operating system that had the browser built into it that could easily get you a virus when you visited other websites that were trying to invade your privacy, the one thing that you could say, unlike Facebook, who is trying to profit off of young girls that feel suicidal, CLIPPY simply wanted to...
Wait. Okay, so to be fair, I expected nothing less from Mark Zuckerberg. He looks like a fucking cyborg, you know? His face, you look into his eyes and tell me, did you see anything in there? There's nothing. Regardless of the image that he's trying to portray now of, you know, the crypto bro millionaire with wavy hair and MMA with famous MMA. You look into his eyes and you know there's nothing there, you know? You look into his congressional hearing where they were asking him about this software he has, there was this congressman that was asking him about some software they had at Facebook that can track you outside of Facebook, and they can track your posts outside of Facebook so that they can create this picture of you, of what your political beliefs are or things like that, which is, and you could see that he would only reply with, I have to talk to my team and get back to you, but there's nothing in his eyes, there's nobody there, you know? Just an unfeeling, uncaring sociopath, in my opinion, at least.
To help. He might have been annoying, but he just wanted to help. There were no ulterior motives. If you told CLIPPY that you were having a bad day, he wasn't going to use that information to try and figure out which advertiser to sell you to, nor was he trying to steal your personal data or get you to purchase other Microsoft products.
This is where we have reached, right? We have reached to the point where fucking CLIPPY is a better alternative than anything else.
He had no ulterior motives. He was simply there to help. Unlike many modern pieces of software, like what you get from Adobe or Intuit, where you can't buy QuickBooks anymore, you can't buy a video editor anymore, you have to pay a subscription fee for it. If I were to boot up that computer that has not been used for 28 years, and I wanted to start up Microsoft Word, I could do so without connecting to the internet. And CLIPPY would still be there, happy and enthusiastic as ever, simply wanting to help.
Yeah.
Adobe is another example of this. This is a company that tried to twist people's arms into having AI and machine learning stuff go through their personal data.
Adobe has some really, really good software, but they will squeeze you out of your money just for you to use it. Unless, of course, you're one of those people that say "yar" too often, and maybe you have a wooden leg and a hook and a hat and maybe a ship, you know what I mean? Then you don't have to pay that much.
Not public data, not the speeches that I give, not my website or my blog posts or my videos, but my private data, the stuff that I'm editing. And there were people that were not able to get into their account until they agreed to this new end user license agreement. When they are looking for access to your data, they're doing so because they want to train an AI on how to do what you do without paying you, without your consent. CLIPPY simply wanted to help. When CLIPPY would ask you if you wanted help with writing your letter, CLIPPY wouldn't even read the contents of your letter.
CLIPPY just wanted to fucking help.
Suggestions.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones had, I'm not going to spoiler alert, there's this Sons of the Harpy in season 5. They were these people that wore masks.
You know, he makes a good fucking point, you know? CLIPPY was a simple piece of software, a simple plugin, I guess. It didn't have the capabilities to read your thoughts or your what you type. It didn't have the ability to transmit everything back to a server so that your data can be collected by data brokers and advertisers so they can sell you you know, shit like that, makeup when you're feeling low.
masks and they push back against the new regime. And the purpose of the mask was to let the leaders know that when you see people with this mask, we are against you and your new regime, and we are going to push back against it as often as we can. And the worry with the Sons of the Harpy mask is that it starts with one person putting the mask on, and then somebody else gains the balls to put the mask on, and then 20 or 40 or 100 of them put the mask on.
Okay.
And once 100 or 1,000 of them put the mask on, there's nothing that the leaders can do at that point. Enough people have put it on, and enough people have come together with solidarity.
That's the same ideology with... that used to be the same ideology with Anonymous, where like everybody would be wearing the mask, the mask of Guy Fawkes, and so that, you know, it showed solidarity and it showed being unified against a common enemy, which in this case is the technocrats, the tyrannic technocrats that have enslaved our minds and souls. Really, play Cyberpunk.
And they're going to do something about it. Now, granted, this may not be the best analogy because, spoiler alert, they were trying to bring back slavery and they also were just bad people. Khaleesi kind of became a shitbag at that point too. But besides, I think that CLIPPY is like a modern day Sons of the Harpy mask. If you're tired of companies changing the terms of the sale after the sale and getting away with it, turn your profile photo to a CLIPPY. If you're tired of companies that have the ability to reach into your house and ransomware your products so that they stop working unless you pay them again, claiming that that's legal, but then when somebody tries to give you back access to what you bought and paid for, that's illegal, change your profile photo to a CLIPPY. If you're tired of sex bots invading the comment section on a regular basis, and their comments always posting with no problem, but your comments being censored even when you're not saying anything that bad, change your profile picture to a CLIPPY. If Google, being one of the premier data mining companies on earth, not being able to tell that little fucking cat with 2 pillows next to it that they try to make look like an ass so that thirsty young men click it as they normalize sex trafficking on the platform that doesn't allow you to express an opinion bothers you, change your profile picture to a CLIPPY and let them know that you're not happy. CLIPPY.
Okay, I'll do that. But I think we're gonna need a lot more than changing our profile picture. You know, we're gonna need to play the amateur game. We need to lobby politicians. We need to bother message, email your your local politicians or your local and tell them, you know, we need to do much more than just changing our profile picture. Because for them, it's gonna look like another viral marketing campaign. Because that's all they care about.
Never tried to normalize sex trafficking. He just wanted to help. If you're tired of companies saying out loud that the reason they want to keep you from fixing what you bought and paid for is that may take money away from them, change your profile photo to a CLIPPY. I never expected to win the legislative battle. It would be nice if I did, but it was never something that I set as I need to do this or I'm a failure. What I always hoped to do was win the cultural battle, where all of you understand what's going on and you decide that enough is enough. Everybody have a chance in my...
Everybody has already changed their profile picture to a CLIPPY. CLIPPY, CLIPPY, CLIPPY. Everybody's a CLIPPY now. Alright, I'll change my profile picture to CLIPPY as well. Wait, I need to zoom in. Look at this one. Okay, CLIPPY, CLIPPY. I'm gonna edit my CLIPPY picture. Come on, change your... I will change my Captain CLIPPY. Okay. Alright, everybody has a CLIPPY picture. I'm gonna make mine as well.
My personal life to push back against this, I will. You're maybe not gonna send that email that you're supposed to send to Interso to tell them, oh, by the way, make sure this chip doesn't end up on Mouser.com. Here's an NDA, blah, 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 the supplier agreement. Maybe just forget to send that email. When there's a new consumer rights law that the senator that you work for is on the fence about supporting, and there's a lobbyist that's going to be against it.
This one. Go and be vocal about it.
That wants to have dinner. Whoops, maybe their invitation went to spam. I didn't see that. Sorry, boss. Maybe you quit before you create a fake paywall to test if your customers will pay again for what they already paid for. Or maybe when you send out that ransomware firmware update, you make it opt-in instead of opt-out. Whoopsie, if in some bizarro world it is actually illegal to make a thermostat work again, and this bastard of a CEO decides to try and get the individual in trouble, 10 cases to prosecute, only got time for 6. Maybe I just ignore this one. When a company CEO logs into their Slack and sees 10,000 CLIPPYs looking back at them, what I hope occurs is that they intuitively understand that they no longer live in a world where they can get away with fucking over the consumer.
Yeah.
That their employees, their partners are not going to be accomplices to this anymore, that they are alert and they are aware.
This is a very, very, very noble cause, and I hope everybody follows through with this. I will change my my profile picture to a CLIPPY.
of what is going on, and they are going to politely but firmly push back against it. Every single one of those 10,000 people will be an obstacle to the anti-consumer practices and the anti-ownership practices, and it will no longer be another cog in the assembly line sending us all into a dystopia. There will be a moment where that one person who usually would not have a say in anything can be activated, and in that moment, keep the world from sliding further into a dystopia, or help push it forward in the opposite direction. But we all have to get together, and the first step is making it public that we know what's going on. That starts with a CLIPPY. On YouTube, if you're with me, I ask that you change your profile picture to a CLIPPY. At work, change your Slack profile picture to a CLIPPY. If you work at the White House, don't take down the United States flag, but somewhere on the grounds, put up a flag of a CLIPPY. CLIPPY is a symbol that what used to be considered one of the worst annoyances in our life would now not only be welcomed, but for all of his flaws, celebrated as an idol. Because for all of these things that occur right now where there is negative malice of intent, I want to take away what you own. I want to take this back. I want to get your data. I want to sell you to an advertiser when I know that you're crying. CLIPPY just wanted to help. And if you were to turn him on today, unlike most cloud bullshit, he'd still work. Hulu Foundation is going to be announcing the winners to both the Future Home Bounty and the Echelon Bikes Bounty within the next month. Us offering 5,000 here, 20,000 there.
Change it to a CLIPPY. We will change everything to a fucking CLIPPY.
It pushes the ball forward. But at the end of the day, that does nothing in contrast to organizing all of you. We're happy to get the ball rolling, but for us to truly win, we need to show that if you push us, CLIPPY clips back. That's it for today. And as always, I hope you learned something.
Alright, bro, let's do this. I'm gonna put my... Okay, so my channel, I have this eye inside the camera. I will change those eyes, I will put them into a CLIPPY and change my profile picture that has the CLIPPY and these eyes. So everybody will know this is a CLIPPY. Alright, see you on the next one.